There is only one solution. Dr. Preeta Katyal.
Hello. Today I would be talking about numerology. Many people have asked me, to know about themselves, that is in detail about their personal growth, about their relationships, about their finances, and about the children or their, let's say, growth in their lives, a personal development, the whole thing in detail. So today I would be talking about this Locho grid. This is, according to numerology, one of the most accurate calculations what we have. So what you do is, this is the format of the Locho grid. That is, make a grid like this with its numbers written on that. Alright. After that, make a blank grid by its side. Now what you do about this grid is, write your date of birth. Now let's say, take for example, it is 3/5/1989 or 3/7/1989. So what you do is, search for the 3 and write it there according to your date of birth. Once you calculate your date of birth, the single number which comes after that, add that also in the grid. Alright, so once we talk about this grid, now what this grid is going to tell you is about your personal growth, about your children, about will your marriage be successful, whether you will have a love marriage or will you be going abroad, everything in detail. So before I start, I would just like to tell you that do watch my channel and do watch this session fully so that you don't miss out on everything, because when you think about this, I would be saying everything in detail. And yes, please like, share and subscribe this channel. So now let's start with the grid. As I said, you will write the date of birth, calculate it, and the single number when it comes in the grid. Alright, and plus the ruling number or the driving number, what we call even that in the grid. Okay, after that, once it is written, now we have this 3 vertical planes. The first is your thought, the second is the will, and the third is the action. So when you think about this, now let's talk about the grid. Now let's see. Now as I said, one is the thought, one is the will, and one is the action. So now when you talk about the thought, I'm talking about the vertical line. If you have the numbers, any of these numbers, that tells about what is in your mind. And the will to do it in the second column, and will you take action if you have to do that particular thing. Alright. After that, we have another 3 planes called the mind plane, the soul plane, and the practical plane. That is when you write it horizontally. I hope you can see this. This is how you would be writing the numbers. And then search for the missing numbers. If you have any missing numbers, remember to contact me. I would give you solutions on that. This tells about, whatever goes on in your mind and what is the thought and will you be able to do it. The second is, when I talk about the soul plane, it talks about your emotions, your spirituality, and the warmth or the capacity to hold up relationships. And now the third one, the practical, how materialistic are you and do you enjoy the materialistic things in your life. Alright, now further, if you have a 4, 5, 6, 7 in your grid, that shows that you have money flowing into your lives. That is to do with your golden era. Alright, and if you have a 4, 5, 7, that talks about your children. If you have a 1, 8, 9, that talks about your government job. If you have a 2, 4, 6, that talks about your love marriage. And if you have 2, 5, 6 and 7, that talks about your journey. That is, if you have any chances of settling abroad or doing business abroad. And these are some of the numbers, if you have in your grid, which are going to give you sure shot success. And if you have a number 5, only a number 5 in your grid, that shows you can be a very good businessman and you are very good at speculations. Alright, then when I talk about the diagonal side of this, that is the area where it talks about your golden period. If you have the 4, 5, 6, then you have a golden period coming into your lives, and that is supposed to be one of the best periods of your life. And for further any queries, do contact me on the given numbers, and if you have to have a personal interview with me, please contact me on the numbers.